Good morning, students. Today we will discuss the single phase parallel RLC AC circuits. In previous classes, we discussed about pure resistive circuit, then pure inductive circuit, then pure capacitive circuit. Then we have seen the series combination of R, L, and C. After all that, today we are discussing about parallel RCL AC circuits. In this circuit, basically R, C, and L, all three are parallel to each other with respect to our applied voltage. So you can see here in which a resistor and a inductor and a capacitor all are connected parallel to each other, and a parallel supply is applying here V equal to Vm sin omega t, that is the alternating voltage we are applying here. Okay, and in this parallel circuit, you know, the voltage across each element remains same, whether I see the voltage drop at resistance is equal to V, here is also V and here is also. So because of the parallel combination, voltage drop remains same and current will divide. The current, total current I is flowing here, so IR will flow in the resistance, IL flow in the inductance, and IC will flow in capacitance. So current will divide here. I am not writing here simply the sum of all three current here. You know, this is not mathematical sum here, and that is the total current is not simple mathematical addition of all three current. And the reason behind this is the current flowing in the resistor, inductor, and capacitor are not in the same phase. That's why we are not putting IR plus IL plus IC. We are not writing this way because these are not in phase. So we cannot add it arithmetically here. Second, when we will do the calculation in parallel RL circuit, we have to take care about the concept which we have used in the DC circuit also, the node point, how much current is coming and how much current is going on. So that concept we have to take care about the point, or we can see the node or junction there. So let me draw first the phasor diagram. We have to try to explain or try to understand how we can draw the phasor diagram for the parallel RLC circuit. So you can see here, because the voltage is constant irrespectively resistance, capacitance, inductance, because of the parallel circuit. So we are taking here the V is the reference here, and then with reference to V, we are considering our IR, IL, and IC. So in case of the resistor, the current and voltage both are in the same phase. So that's why both are in this direction. But when we are talking about our capacitor, then we know the current is leading by the 90 degrees. So I'm representing here. Whenever thing is ahead by the 90-degree, then we use the J operator here, that we have already discussed in the phasor representation or in the complex plane, where we have seen about this. And when we are talking about the inductor, in this case, our current lags behind the 90 degrees. So that's why we are writing our current like this way. Is it okay? So now we are drawing our resultant of this one and this one and this one. So the resultant current, which is I, that has the phase difference phi with respect to voltage there. So in this case, we are taking care about inductance current is more than the this capacitance current. So we are considering this one part here. So you see, this is the our resistance current, and that is nothing but the difference of this. IL minus IC. So I'm putting this one here and this one here. So this will represent my total I. So it is nothing but the under root of, if I'm writing, I wrote in terms of the I square, that condition you write this one is square plus this one is square. So that is our intent. So and the rotation is like this way. So we are representing by omega, which is our angular speed, angular velocity here. Is it okay? So this is the phasor diagram for parallel RCL circuit. Now we will see what will be the impedance in the parallel RCL circuit. So you know the our current is given by this, and we can see from our circuit parallel RL circuit, we can see the current is given by current flowing through the resistance is given by V. V is the constant for every, so everywhere is V divided by the resistance. Here it is divided by the capacitive reactance, and it is divided by inductive reactance here. So these are the currents. Okay, so if I put these values here, so I am getting this one. Okay, so I defined a term which was the admittance, that was just reciprocal of our impedance. So that's my input admittance given by the y, and it is nothing but 1 upon z. So this case I am getting is the I upon v, and that one is the this one. So then basically is, we are writing v equal to IR. So R, if I'm talking about the DC circuit, so and if we are talking about our AC circuit, then we are writing V equal to IZ. So my Z is represented by here 1 by Z. So 1 by Z is nothing but it is the admittance. Okay, so you can see the Z of parallel RCL circuit, each element has reciprocal of the impedance, because it 1 upon R, it 1 upon XL, 1 upon XC. So all are the reciprocal. That's why we are writing in terms of the admittance, not in terms of the impedance. So that's why we are putting as here admittance. For solving parallel circuit, it is convenient if we use the admittance of each branch, and the total admittance of the circuit can be found by simplifying adding each branch admittance. So for the simplicity, we are writing here y rather than z, because every component is the reciprocal of previous component. So r is 1 by r, it is 1 by xl, 1 by xc. So that's why we are writing in terms of the admittance. If you draw the phasor diagram for the admittance, so it's just opposite to the simple impedance diagram, because in the simple impedance diagram we have the resistance, and then it is the reactance, and this one is the impedance here. But here what we are doing, we are the just reciprocal of resistance is the conductance, and just reciprocal of the reactance is nothing but a susceptance, and the reciprocal of z is nothing but the admittance. So it's just opposite of the admittance triangle, which we have already draw for triangle for the impedance and voltage and power in our previous lecture. Now we see the resonance condition in the parallel RC circuit. So in the parallel RLC circuit also resonates a particular frequency called as the resonance frequency. What is the meaning of that? There occurs a frequency at which the inductive reactance becomes equal to the capacitive reactance. Okay. So in the series RLC circuit we have already seen. So but in like series RLC circuit, the parallel RLC circuit has impedance becomes maximum and current behaves like a purely resistive circuit, leading to unity electrical power factor of the circuit. We will see here our admittance of the parallel circuit is given by this one. This is 1 by R, this is 1 by XL, and this 1 by XC. So that is given by this. This is J is come because of the phasor notation. Okay, and here J also is the phasor notation, and it is 1 by XL, and it is 1 by XC. So XC is nothing but 1 upon omega C. So that's why it comes like this way. Okay, so you can write this way also. You put omega equal to this and this. That is, so the J is only here. We I write here to explain the meaning of J operator, where is the leading factor or lagging factor. That is the only meaning to represent here. Is it okay? So at the resonance, what we will, the both will be equal to. When both are equal to, then we will put this condition, and we are getting F square. So our F square is comes this one, or if you want to write in terms of the omega, then you can write 1 upon this. So it is also the same value as the previous uh, series RLC circuit combination. Okay, but here the impedance and correct current on the other factor will not same, they will change different manner. The explanation is given in the next slides. So you see here at the resonance, the parallel LC, LC, when we have our LC circuit, that is known also as the tank circuit. Let's say open circuit, this one at resonance, this LC circuit will, which we are calling as the tank circuit, acts like a open circuit with the circuit current being determined by the resistance R only. So the total impedance of the parallel resonance circuit is the resonance becomes just the value of resistance in the circuit, and it is given by Z equal to R. So you can see here it is our nothing but our parallel RL circuit. So I want to simplify this circuit. So what we are doing when at the resonance condition, what we are putting our XL and XC both are equal. It means this portion becomes just behave the alternator reactance currents becomes equal to 0. So that portion becomes 0 because XL minus XC equal to 0. So this becomes equal to 0. So it's behave like it's a, here you can see it's the open circuit here. So you see here our voltage will behave like in this way. So this is just like a pure resistive circuit here again. So it is the simplification of our parallel RLC circuit. Now we will see the effect of frequency on the circuit parameters. So here we are discussing the drawing the graph between the frequency and our impedance, and you can see from this particular conditions, if the parallel circuit impedance is at the maximum, you see the this impedance is maximum where at resonance frequency, but in our series RLC circuit it was minimum at that resonance frequency, but here you can say it is the maximum at resonance frequency. Okay, so at the resonance, then the circuit admittance must be at minimum, and we can see the impedance at the maximum. Okay, then the resistance of the parallel resonance circuits acts as a damping effect. You see here because it's the high value. Z equal to R at the resonance is the high value. So it's show the damping effect of the circuit bandwidth, making the circuit less sensitive. So you can see from the resonance frequency, and from 0 to resonance frequency, our circuit behave with the inductive circuit. Here the capacitance inductance is more than the inductive reactance, and in this case you can see our circuit will behave a capacitive, and you can see the inductive reactance is greater than the capacitive reactance. So this is the effect on the frequency on the impedance, or you can say the admittance. Then we see the effect on the current also. So the frequency response and the current here, the frequency response curve for the parallel resonance circuit shows the magnitude of current is a function of frequency. I'm plotting into the graph. So you see we plotted graph here that the response start at maximum value. Usually our current start from its maximum value at the resonance frequency. So you can see the maximum value start and reaches its minimum value. So the maximum value will start from this and it reaches to minimum value where when the we are at the resonance frequency, and increases again maximum because when f becomes infinity. So when we are increasing from 0 to resonance frequency, in that condition our current is decreasing and becomes minimum at resonance frequency. Then after the resonance frequency, when we increase our frequency, then our current will also increase and it becomes infinity when the frequency becomes infinity. So the result of this is the magnitude of current flowing through the inductor and capacitor tank circuit can become many times larger than the supply current. You see, because here it is very large, here it is very large, even at the resonance. Okay, but as they are equal and opposite, so they effectively cancel each other. That's the meaning here. So this is the effect of frequency on the current. So this is all about the parallel RLC circuit. I think you understood about this. Now in the next classes we will do some numerical problem related to that topic. So if you have any problem, then you can write a mail me on sham@gwc.ac.in. Thank you.